A very good afternoon to everyone. So it's a matter of honor for us that our school has been shortlisted in Darjeeling district by Ministry of Defense for holding a presentation by army officers on the eve of Azadi ka Amrit Mahotsav. As you all are aware that India celebrates Independence Day on 15th August every year. And our government has shared the vision of building a new Atmanirbhar Bharat by the year 2022. The Azadi ka Amrit Mahotsav is an intensive countrywide campaign which will focus on citizen participation, and it is to be converted into a Jan Andolan, where small changes at the local level will add up to significant national gains. I take this opportunity to welcome our principal ma'am, Ms. Anisha Sharma, our vice principal sir, Mr. Shukanta Ghosh, our headmaster sir, Mr. Amlan Sarkar, senior mistress ma'am, senior mistress sir, all the coordinators, teachers, and students who have joined us to celebrate Azadi ka Amrit Mahotsav. And it's an honor for me to introduce today's speakers, representatives of Headquarters 33 Corps, Major Swati Sharma and Lieutenant S. Giridharan. So I need to speak a bit about our brave army officers, those who have come today to speak and enlighten our students and all of us about the program, and also to show us that why Independence Day celebration is very, very important and a moment of pride for all of us. With them in the room today, we will not only understand the value of sacrificing for this great nation, but also they will take us to a journey of sacrifice and bravery with them. So whatever they are going to share, I will request all of you to listen to them very carefully and feel with them that what has motivated them to sacrifice so much for this country. So first I will introduce Major Swati Sharma. Major Swati Sharma hails from Himachal Pradesh and completed her education from Auckland House School, Shimla. She is a computer science engineer from Punjab Technical University, and she dedicated herself to Indian Army and got President's Commission in the year 2011. An alumnus of Officers Training Academy, Chennai, she was commissioned in the Corps of Electronics and Mechanical Engineer, the largest corps of Indian Army. She has rendered her services at various places in India, including services in counter-insurgency areas of far northeast. She had first-hand account of insurgency operation in northeast. Welcome, ma'am. Then we have Lieutenant S. Giridharan, and he is accompanying Major Swati Sharma. Lieutenant S. Giridharan hails from Thanjavur, Tamil Nadu. He is a product of Sainik School, Amravati Nagar, Tamil Nadu. A very sharp and focused officer, cleared his India written exam and qualified in Service Selection Board and joined National Defense Academy. Having successfully completed his training at Indian Military Academy, Dehradun, he got commissioned in Corps of Engineers in 2019. Immediately on commissioning, the officer was posted to tough terrain of Ladakh. At this young age, he was part of recent Chinese intrusion in Ladakh, and currently he is posted in Shukna with Engineer Regiment. Welcome, sir. And DPS Siliguri, it's a proud moment for DPS Siliguri that you are with us. Over to you, Major Swati Sharma.
Thank you so much, sir. सैकड़ों परिंदे आसमान पर आज नजर आने लगे। बलिदानियों ने दिखाई है राह उन्हें आजादी से उड़ने की। Good morning, everyone. Respected principal, teachers, and my dear children. First of all, I wish you all a very happy 75th Independence Day in advance. I am feeling proud and privileged that I am an Indian, and today I got this opportunity to give a speech on Independence Day and SWARNIM VIJAY VARSH and share my view with you all about freedom of India. For India is one of the oldest civilizations in the world, spanning a period of more than 10,000 years and witnessing the fusion of several customs and traditions, which are reflective of the rich culture and heritage of the country. We all know that Independence Day is very important day for all of us. We got independence on 15th August 1947 from the British rule. We cannot just sit here and think how difficult it had been to urge India free from British rule. Indians fought from 1857 to 1947, and to urge this freedom, they took the lives of lakhs of freedom fighters. History starts rising voice against British when a British army man fought against them for the independence of India. And eventually it was possible because of our great leaders like Mahatma Gandhi, Shri Jawaharlal Nehru, Shri Motilal Nehru, Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, Shri Subhash Chandra Bose, Shri Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel, Shri Bal Gangadhar Tilak, and freedom fighters like Bhagat Singh, Sukhdev, Shivram Hari, Rajguru, and Mangal Pandey, Lakshmi, Rani Lakshmi Bai, and many more, who struggled hard for many years to get freedom against British rule. Jawaharlal Nehru became the first Prime Minister of India, and he raised the Indian flag at Red Fort in New Delhi on 15th August 1947. His words were, "Long year ago, we made a tryst with destiny. At the stroke of midnight hour, when the world sleeps, India will awake to life and freedom." We cannot merely say that 15th August is just about freedom. This day is plethora of emotion. It reminds us of the pain of being enslaved, of the strength in unity. It defines sacrifice. It gives us an example that some wars can be won with non-violence. And of all the things, it makes us value and cherish freedom we have today. It is our responsibility as proud citizens of this country to sincerely perform our duty and progress together for the growth and development of our country. Keeping the sacrifices of our ancestors in mind, we should take an oath to carve a better future for our motherland. To maintain and sustain the independence, India has fought many major wars. Our soldiers have sacrificed their lives to maintain India as a sovereign and independent nation. One such war was fought in 1971, and this year, the government of India has taken an initiative to celebrate 50 years of 1971 war victory and liberation of Bangladesh from the clutches of Pakistan. India celebrates December 16 as Vijay Diwas to commemorate its victory over Pakistan during the 1971 war that led to the creation of Bangladesh. Last year, that is on 16 December 2020, to celebrate 50 years of our victory, our Honorable Prime Minister, Mr. Narendra Modi, led 4 planes called Victory Planes. These victory planes since then have been traveling across the country. These planes are carried to various parts of the country, including to villages of Paramveer Chakra and Mahavir Chakra awardees of 1971 war. Various commemorative events are also conducted pan-India, wherein war veterans will be facilitated, band displays, seminars, exhibitions, equipment display, film festival, conclaves, and adventure activities are also planned. The Indo-Pakistan War of 1971 was a military confrontation between India and Pakistan that occurred during the Bangladesh Liberation War in East Pakistan from 3rd December 1971 to the fall of Dhaka on 16 December 1971. The Indo-Pakistan War of 1971 began on December 3rd and lasted for 13 days, after which Pakistan surrendered to India and Bangladesh. The Indian army brought the Pakistani army to its knees took 93,000 of its prisoners and gave independence to 75 million people of Bangladesh. It was also the largest military surrender after World War II. Pakistan was divided within itself into West and East Pakistan, separated by more than 1,000 miles of Indian territory. Bengalis in East Pakistan soon realized that they are being ruled and dominated by the military of West Pakistan, with no autonomy of their own. It all started when Bengalis realized that they comprises around 56% of the population of Pakistan, and yet Urdu was imposed as federal language by the central government in West Pakistan. Jinnah further declared that Urdu and only Urdu embodies the spirit of Muslim nations and will remain the only federal language of the country, and those who disagree would be labeled as enemies of Pakistan. This sparked unrest in East Pakistan. The people demanded and led to Bengali language movement 1950. The people demanded the Bengali to be given federal status alongside Urdu and English. The government refused to do so and retaliated by removing the Bengali script from currencies and stamps, a practice which had been in place since British Raj. The students of the University of Dhaka and other political activists defined the law and organized a protest on 21st February 1952. The movement reached its climax when police killed student demonstrators on that day. The deaths provoked widespread civil unrest. Then in 1964, East Pakistan riots, the massacre and ethnic cleansing of Bengali Hindus from East Pakistan in the wake of the elite theft of what was believed to be the prophets here from the Hazrat Bal shrine in Jammu and Kashmir in India. The salient features was its urban nature and selective targeting of Bengali Hindu-owned industries and merchant establishments in the capital city of Dhaka. This resulted in unending wave of Bengali Hindu refugees in neighboring West Bengal. The refugees' rehabilitation became a national problem in India, and hundreds of refugees were resettled in the regions of Orissa and Bangladesh. General elections were held in Pakistan on 7 December 1917 to elect members of National Assembly. They were the first general elections since the independence of Pakistan, and ultimately the only ones held prior to the independence of Bangladesh. Voting took place in 300 general constituencies, of which 162 were in East Pakistan and 138 in West Pakistan. The elections were a fierce contest between two social democratic parties, and West-based Pakistani People's Party and the East-based Awami League. The Awami League was the sole major party in the East Wing, while in the West Wing, the Pakistan People Party faced clear competition. The result was a victory for the Awami League, which gained an absolute majority, winning 160 of the 162 general seats and all 7 women seats in East Pakistan. The Pakistan People Party won only 81 general seats and 5 women seats, all in West Pakistan. The elected assembly initially did not meet as President Yahya Khan and the Pakistani People Party did not want the majority party from East Pakistan forming government. This caused great unrest in East Pakistan, which soon escalated into the call of independence of March 26, 1971, and ultimately led to war of independence with East Pakistan becoming the independent state of Bangladesh. To curb the Bengali nationalist movement in former East Pakistan in March 1971, Operation Searchlight was planned by the Pakistan Army. Original plan envisioned taking control of all East Pakistani major cities, important locations, capture Sheikh Mujib, and capture Dhaka University. President Yahya Khan called on the military, which was overwhelmingly led by West Pakistani, to suppress dissent in the east on 25th March 1971. Mass arrest of dissidents began. Tikka Khan, also known as the Butcher of East Pakistan, issued order for crackdown to start at 0100 hours on March 26th on Dhaka. Thus began the Bangladesh War of Liberation. Pakistani army systematically and cruelly executed 99 teachers, 33 journalists, 49 physicians, 42 lawyers, and 16 writers. 14 December is thus marked as Retired Intellectual Day in Bangladesh. 3 million innocent Bengali civilians lost their lives. More than 3 lakh women were raped. Approximately 10 million Bangladeshis fled the country to seek refuge in the eastern India states, including a number of resistance leaders of East Pakistan. We opened our border to allow the Bengali refugees to find safe shelters. Prime Minister Indira Gandhi on 27 March 1971 expressed full support of her government for the independence struggle of the people of East Pakistan and concluded that instead of taking in millions of refugees, it was economical to go to war against Pakistan. The Indian government repeatedly appealed to the international community for assistance but failed to elicit any response. Despite the External Affairs Minister Savarn Singh meeting foreign ministers of the other countries. The Mukti Bahini, also known as Bangladesh Force, was the guerrilla resistance movement consisting of the Bangladeshi military, paramilitary, and civilian during the War of Liberation that transformed East Pakistan into Bangladesh in 1971. A formal military leadership of the resistance was created in April 1971 under the Provisional Government of Bangladesh. The military council was headed by General M.A.G. Osamni and 11 sector commanders. The Bangladesh Armed Forces were established on 4th April 1971. Using guerrilla warfare tactics, the Mukti Bahini secured control over large parts of Bengali countryside. It conducted successful ambushes and sabotage campaigns and included the nation Bangladesh Air Force and the Bangladesh Navy. Mukti Bahini received training and weapons from India, where people in West Bengal shared a common Bengali ethnic and linguistic heritage with East Pakistan. By November 1971, an Indian-Pakistan war seemed inevitable. In November 1971, thousands of people led by conservative Pakistani politicians marched in Lahore and across Pakistan, calling for Pakistan to crush India. India responded by starting a massive buildup of the Indian army on the western borders. The army waited until December, when the dry grounds in the east made for easier operations and the Himalayan passes were closed by snow, preventing any Chinese intervention. On 23rd November, President Yahya Khan declared a national state of emergency and told the country to prepare for war. On the evening of 3rd December, about 1740 hours, the Pakistan Air Force launched surprise primitive strike on 11 airfields in northwestern India, including Agra, which was 480 kilometers from the border. This air action marked the official start of Indo-Pakistan War. Gandhi ordered the immediate mobilization of troops and launched a full-scale invasion on Pakistan. This involved Indian forces in massive coordination, air, sea, and land assaults on Pakistan from all the fronts. The main Indian objective on the eastern front was to capture Dhaka, and on the western front was to prevent Pakistan from entering Indian soil. In the western theater of the war, the Indian Navy Western Naval Command under Vice Admiral S.N. Kohli successfully launched a surprise attack on Karachi port on the night of 4th and 5th December 1971, under the codename Trident. The naval attack involving the Soviet-built OSA missile boats sank the Pakistan Navy's destroyers PNS Khyber and minesweeper PNS Muhafiz, while PNS Shah Jahan was also badly damaged. Pakistan naval sources reported that about 720 Pakistani sailors were killed or wounded, and Pakistan lost reserve fuel and many commercial ships, thus crippling the Pakistan Navy further involvement in the conflict in the eastern theater of the war. The Indian Eastern Naval Command under Vice Admiral Neelkant Krishnan completely isolated East Pakistan by a naval blockade in the Bay of Bengal, trapping the Eastern Pakistan Navy and 8 foreign merchant ships in their ports. According to one of the Pakistani scholars, Tariq Ali, Pakistan lost half its navy in the war. After the attempted preemptive attacks, the Pakistan Air Force adopted a defensive stance in response to the Indian retaliation. As the war progressed, the Indian Air Force continued to battle the Pakistan Air Force over conflict zones, but the number of sorties flown by Pakistan Air Force decreased day by day. The Indian Air Force flew 4,000 sorties, while the Pakistan Air Force offered little in retaliation, partially because of the precocity of non-Bengali technical personnel. In the east, number 14 Squadron tail chopper under squadron leader P.Q. Mehendi, who was taken as prisoner of war, was destroyed, putting the Dhaka air defense out of commission and resulting in Indian air superiority in the east. Before the start of the war, the Indian Army was well organized on both fronts and enjoyed significant numerical superiority over the Pakistan Army on both fronts. Pakistan launched several ground offensives, but the Indian Army held its ground and initiated well-coordinated ground operations on both fronts. Major ground attacks were concentrated on the western borders by Pakistan Army, fighting together with the Pakistan Marines in the southern border, but the Indian Army was successful in penetrating into Pakistan soil. It eventually made some quick and initial gains, including the capture of around 15,110 kilometers square of Pakistan territory. This land gained by India in Azad Kashmir, Punjab, Sindh sector was later seceded in Shimla Agreement of 1972 as a gesture of goodwill. On 23rd November 1971, the Indian Army conventionally penetrated to the eastern fronts and crossed East Pakistan borders to join the Bengali nationalist allies. The Indian campaign Blitzkrieg techniques exploited weaknesses in the Pakistani positions and bypassed opposition. This resulted in swift victory faced with great losses. The Pakistani military capitulated in less than a fortnight, and psychological panic spread in the Eastern Command military leadership. Subsequently, the Indian Army encircled Dhaka and issued an ultimatum to surrender in 30 minutes time window. On 16 December 1971, upon hearing the ultimatum, the East Pakistan government collapsed when the Lieutenant General A.A.K. Niaz, commander of Eastern Command, and his deputy Vice Admiral M.S. Khan surrendered without offering any resistance. On 16 December 1971, Pakistan ultimately called for unilateral ceasefire and surrendered its entire four-tier military to the Indian Army, hence ending the Indo-Pakistan War of 1971. War of 1971 is an example of war in which planning and conduct were executed to perfection. It was a splendid demonstration of coordination of all our armed forces performing at their best. Now, to enlighten you all about Army and motivate you to join Army, I would like to call upon Lieutenant Giridharan. Jai Hind.
world at your feet. Get all this, all the way here. Has offices here, 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 and here. Who encourages you to do this, this, and this. Teaches you the value of life, respect, honor, and pride. Which organization wants you to be everything you want to be? We do. We are India's most exciting workplace, and we are making you an offer. The Indian Army. Live a life less ordinary.
Good afternoon, all viewers. I am Lieutenant Giridharan to take on from here and brief you about why and who should take up armed forces as their career. I'll also briefly touch on the various avenues to join this profession. Okay, this video gives a small glimpse about this vast organization, and you could have made out how challenging and diversified this profession of arms is. Here, every man practice, preach, and radiate the values of leader in almost every action, which in turn transforms them into soldiers with high military values. Now, let me show you what the army offers you. Serving the motherland. The armed forces give you a platform to serve the motherland with great pride. Although there are many ways to render service to the motherland, but there is always a significant difference between serving and serving at the cost of your own life. The saying written in the war memorial of Tawang goes like this: how better a man can die than facing the fearful odds for the ashes of his poor father and the temple of his gods. For us, country and honor come first before self. Army is completely different from the 9-to-5 job. Each day brings new assignments, and believe me, 20 years from now, those of you who join the armed forces will have lasting and fulfilling memories of challenging times during your tenure. Lead gallant man under your command. The army gives you an opportunity to command and lead gallant soldiers at a very young age. You can be in the in any profession for that matter, lay down your life for the commands. This is the kind of professionalism followed in the Indian Armed Forces. Adventure and sports. There is a plethora of sports and adventure activities which you can do while being in the armed forces. You name a sport or adventure activity, we do them. This being the reason, Army since its inception has been the major contributor in bringing home medals in all the international events, be it Commonwealth Games, Asian Games, or Olympics. No other profession in the world will give you such opportunity and infrastructure to work and play at the same time. Scope for higher studies. You can join the best management and engineering colleges in the country, which includes the IITs and the IIMs. For those of you interested in the research side, do get an opportunity to work in DRDO. Foreign assignments. India has a large presence in the United Nations peacekeeping missions. Presently, about 7,500 troops are deployed overseas. Also, officers go to many foreign countries to do various courses, attend seminars, and participate in joint exercises. Officers also get posted as military attaches in the Indian Embassy. Job security. In the armed forces, you have 100% job security. And even after the retirement, the army takes care of you as well as your family. This is the beauty of the organization, which you will find nowhere else. Sophisticated equipment. Are you fascinated by the guns, tanks, aeroplanes, fighter jets, warships? If yes, then this is the right place. You get a chance to use such high-tech machineries and expensive machineries which no other career can provide you. Unmatched reputation. Donning this uniform in itself is a matter of great pride and honor. The respect which you get in these armed forces is immense. Not everyone is privileged to wear this uniform. Such can never be bought. One has to earn it. Career advancements in armed forces. While being in the armed force, you get to do various courses. Even in the pre-commissioning academies, you start with your BA, BSc or BCA, and if you join at 10+2 TES, you get to do a BTech. Also, when you grow up in your service, you get to do various military courses and gain proficiency in your particular arm and service. Officers are entitled 2 years of study leave with full pay. During this tenure, these officers can opt for any course which they would prefer to pursue. There are many specialized courses for the technical officers. For example, in engineers, EME and signals code, you would be made to do the specialization of the technical education which you have, for example, an MTech degree or a specialization in your particular field. And there comes the prestigious staff courses, DSSC and TSOC. The Indian Army have always been on the forefront when it comes to producing sportsmen of international pedigree. Sports has always been an integral part of the military fitness regime. To complement, the above army also has infrastructures which includes all forms of sports. To name a few: golf, tennis, squash, aquatics, hockey, football, basketball, athletics, swimming, and horse riding. If you have flair for adventure activities, then there is no other organization in comparison with armed forces which can provide you a platform for such huge variety of adventure sports. Some of them like paragliding, skydiving, paramotors, whitewater rafting, surfing, water sailing, scuba diving, mountaineering, microlight flying, and hot air ballooning. Apart from the salary, the officers and people in armed forces are entitled for allowances and benefits, which you get on being part of the armed force, and there are many facilities which your family members receive as well. Some of them are free medical treatment, quality schooling for children, insurance through Army Group Insurance Fund, canteen stores department facilities, membership of clubs and officer institutes, counterinsurgency, field high altitude allowance as applicable, transportation allowance, aviation para allowance, specialist technical allowance. Now, I shall brief you on the various entry avenues for you to take up this profession. Officer's entry through UPSC examination, which includes after clearing the UPSC, SSB, and topping in merit, the candidates get trained themselves in National Defense Academy, Indian Military Academy, Short Service Commission non-technical, which is for both men and women. Non-UPSC entry, which includes the technical graduate course and technical entry scheme. Also, the Short Service Commission technical, Short Service Commission NCC special, Short Service Commission JAG, Judge Advocate General, both for men and women. Service entry for those who have joined the service as ORs can also become officers in Indian Army through ACC, Army Cadet College, Special Commissioned Officer, SCO, PCSL, Permanent Commission Specialist. And the other entry is the RVC, Remote Veterinary Code. Selection process of UPSC or non-UPSC. Through UPSC, the candidates appear in the Union Public Service Examination, clearing which the candidates will be called for the 5-day SSB procedure. Once the candidates get recommended from the Services Selection Board, they are underwent a complete medical checkup. And those candidates who top the merit get themselves enrolled in pre-commissioning institutes. In non-UPSC entry, the candidates do not appear in Union Public Service Commission exam. Rather, they are called to the Services Selection Board directly based on the marks of their 10+2. This slide shows the youngest entry or the youngest gateway for candidates who want to become officers in the armed forces, which is either through National Defense Academy or through the technical entry scheme, 10+2 TES. The next is the Indian Military Academy, where the graduates from recognized university can apply. Next is the Short Service Commission non-technical, where the graduates with NCC Senior Division of grade minimum B in C certificate can apply. The NCC special entry includes the BE BTech graduates can apply through NCC certificates, where the candidates are called to their Services Selection Board. The US entry, which is currently closed as of now, but earlier graduates on graduating from engineering colleges will be called upon directly to SSB based on their marks in their BTech degree. The next is the TGC. The technical graduate course is similar to the UGC in the previous slide. TGC for education branch, which includes an MA or MSc in first or second division notified subjects from recognized university. These candidates can apply and can be called upon directly for SSBs. Short Service Commission technical men, engineering degree in notified discipline. Next is the women entry, which includes the TGC engineers, a BE BTech in notified streams of engineering, where the women candidates will be called upon directly to the SSB. The Short Service Commission non-technical, women including non-tech specialist and JAG entry, where graduation or a PG degree with diploma in BA LLB from recognized university can apply. The last is the SSC technical, where engineering degree in any discipline, where women can apply and can directly attend the Services Selection Board. NCC special entry, men and women. This slide is in elaborate of which I had shown in the previous tabulation. This is a video of a speech given by the DCCI of OTA Chennai.
One of the strengths of OTA Chennai.
Particularly the youths who's been willing to come and join this academy, and what is your motivation for that?
My motivation, I was 13th ranked in the IIT entrance exam, 1-3. I left IIT Chennai and joined the National Defense Academy. 39 years now I've been in the army. I've been shot and wounded. I have lived a full life. Any other place, any other college, any education may give you a job. The army will give you a life. You can make the choice.
We have come to the last slide. Thank you, gentlemen, for your patience. If there is any question, you may please shoot.
The students, if you have any question towards our speakers, Major Swati Sharma and Lieutenant S. Giridharan, you can click on the raise your hand button. You will be unmuted and you can ask. Students, if you have any question towards our guest speakers today, Major Swati Sharma and Lieutenant S. Giridharan, you can simply click on the raise your hand button. You will be unmuted and you can ask a question. Sir, I believe your explanation was so crystal clear that they don't have any queries left. So, okay, we have Harshit Harsh. Harshit, you can unmute yourself and you can ask.
Very good afternoon to sir, to our chief guest, principal, ma'am, the teachers. My father is also a paramilitary officer in BSF, currently posted in 21st Battalion Salugara in Siliguri only. My question was this: that what's the major difference you can identify? What is the difference between an army and a paramilitary officer? Like joining a army or joining a paramilitary is the same thing, or is there any difference?
By paramilitary, you mean it is the BSF, the CRPF, etc., right?
Yes.
Okay. The regular army, which is the Indian Army, which I am meaning, the Indian Army is employed basically in war. So during this peace time, the BSF safeguard or BSF as well as the regular army are deployed along the border. And for internal security, the CRPF and CISF, they are all deployed. This is the basic difference. So once the war, if in case the war breaks out between two countries, the BSF will come back. Not all, but a small portion of BSF is kept along the border, but major chunk is moved behind and the regular army takes all the posts along the border.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Harshit Harsh. Anyone else? Anyone else with any question? You can simply click on the raise your hand button. Aditya Gurung, you want to ask? Okay, you have physically raised your hand, no problem.
So, sir, first of all, it was definitely a great session. It was remarkable. Sir, I had this question that suppose a law student, he wants to go into this field of army and like the officers ranks and also what are the opportunities?
I'm
or
sorry,
what are the paths?
Master Aditya, I didn't get your question. Can you please repeat?
Yes, sir. So like suppose I am a law student.
Yeah.
So, and I want to join the army.
Yeah.
Through SSB. So what are the ways through which I can join and the opportunities in it? Like
okay.
Ways of joining.
Being after completing your LLB, you do have a chance to join the armed forces. That entry is called the JAG, which I mentioned, Judge Advocate General. So with your after getting graduation, you can directly apply for SSB. The notifications you will get it in Join Indian Army website. So if you go through, I will suggest you to search for this JAG entry. How it is what is the percentage to apply for SSB. Once you are called upon, you can attend the SSB and you get trained in OTA Chennai for an year, and then you get commissioned into Indian Army. But JAG entry is always a short service position, which means you can put 10 plus 4 years of service. Yeah.
Thank you, Aditya. Anyone else? You have to click on the raise your hand button. So I believe that was all the questions that we have got from our students. So Lieutenant Giridharan, with your permission, I want to wrap up today's session.
Thank you so much. Thank you for giving us this opportunity and for this school institution and all teachers.
No, actually, it was. I will say thank you to you and Major Sharma for giving our students this opportunity to interact with you guys. Thank you very much. And I believe our students have understood the level of sacrifice our armed forces had done in the 1971 war between India and Pakistan. And thank you, Lieutenant Giridharan, for letting our students know that what Army has to offer. Thank you very much. And on the behalf of the entire DPS family, I want to salute our defense forces for protecting our country, for helping us to live a peaceful life. And I also want to salute the families of the soldiers who are brave enough to send their loved ones to the border to protect our motherland. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for joining this session. Jai Hind.